Native peoples called it the mark of the white man, a plant incapable of flight, yet one that effortlessly crossed oceans. How a common wayside weed became one of history's most successful colonizers, and why its seeds are the ultimate natural superglue. Today, we delve into the archive of plantain. We will dissect the engineering of its reinforced leaves and uncover, under a microscope, the workings of this living bandage. Part 1. Expansion and superglue. The art of invisible conquest. Among the flora, there are conquerors, hermits, and strategists. But plantain, Plantago, is something more profound. It is botany's supreme colonizer, its destiny intrinsically woven with the threads of human migration. We often encounter it underfoot, on dusty roadsides or garden paths, taking its presence for granted. Yet, if we turn the pages of history, a grand biological invasion emerges, one that reshaped entire continents. The most compelling chapter in Plantain's saga is intertwined with the discovery of new worlds. As European settlers ventured into North America, indigenous peoples observed a peculiar pattern. Wherever the pale-faced newcomers' wagons rumbled and their shod boots trod, an unfamiliar plant with broad, tough leaves began to sprout from the earth. The Native Americans bestowed upon it an ominous yet accurate name: the footprint of the white man. For them, plantain became a living testament to invasion. If you saw these rosettes by the stream, it signaled the arrival of outsiders. They had passed this way. But how did a plant, lacking wings or the formidable hooks of burdock, manage to traverse the Atlantic and swiftly conquer a vast continent? The answer lies in nature's remarkable engineering feat: plantain seeds. Plantain seeds are a marvel of bionics. In their dry state, they are unassuming specks, but upon contact with the slightest moisture, morning dew, a raindrop, or damp soil on a boot sole, a rapid chemical reaction occurs. The seed's outer coating transforms into a thick, ultra-adhesive mucilage, rich in special polysaccharides called xylose. This is nature's superglue, anchoring the seed firmly to any surface: skin, fabric, wood, or metal. Imagine the scale of this operation. A seed might adhere to a horse's shoe in the docks of London, survive months of ocean travel in a damp cargo hold, and then, when the horse steps onto the soil of Virginia, detach to begin its new life. Plantain didn't just travel. It exploited human civilization as a free transportation service. Every road, every new trail, became its express highway. It was an impeccable strategy to advance into areas where the soil was compacted and trampled, where no other competitor could survive. But claiming territory is only half the battle. One must also hold it. Here, plantain showcases another astonishing technology: the architecture of its leaves. Observe their venation. Unlike most grasses, whose veins branch like tree canopies, plantain's veins run parallel from the stem's attachment point all the way to the leaf tip. These are not merely conduits for sap. They are reinforced cables. They consist of robust bundles of mechanical tissue. Try tearing a plantain leaf across its width. You'll feel resistance, followed by the emergence of white, elastic threads that stretch to their limit. This structure enables plantain to withstand immense pressure. When a heavy cart rolls over it, or a person steps on it, the leaf doesn't break. Its shock-absorbing veins simply press it closer to the ground, distributing the load. Furthermore, trampling is even beneficial. It eradicates competitors that would shade out the plantain, leaving it with ample sunlight and space. Thus, plantain transformed its hostile environment, the compacted, hard soil of roads, into its exclusive comfort zone. It became a symbol of resilience, perpetually following in our wake. We open this archive to acknowledge that Plantain is no mere incidental visitor on our paths. It is a steadfast companion, having mastered the art of leveraging every step we take for its triumphant march across the globe. It stands as living proof that the most successful strategy is not to fight circumstances, but to harness them. Part 2. The green antibiotic and the molecular bridge. If the first part of our archive focused on Plantain as a territorial conqueror, the second explores its role as a vanquisher of pain. We are familiar with the classic scene. A child falls, scrapes a knee, and the first thing sought in the grass is a broad plantain leaf. But what precisely happens when the plant's sap contacts damaged skin? From a modern pharmacognosy perspective, a plantain leaf is a multi-layered, intelligent dressing. It doesn't rely on a single substance, but a cocktail of compounds, each serving a specific function. The primary actor here is aucubin. This is a natural glycoside possessing potent antiseptic properties. As soon as you crush the leaf in your hands, you rupture its cells, activating aucubin. It begins to act as a mild yet effective antibiotic, inhibiting the growth of staphylococci and other bacteria that attempt to enter a fresh wound. But disinfection is just the beginning. For a wound to heal, the body needs to stop bleeding and seal the tissue edges. This is where vitamin K comes into play. Plantain is among the top-tier herbs for its vitamin K content. This vitamin is a crucial factor in blood coagulation. By applying the leaf, you locally increase the concentration of vitamin K, prompting the blood to form a protective crust more rapidly. Simultaneously, tannins are at work. They induce mild astringency, coagulating proteins on the wound's surface. Imagine this as the creation of a temporary molecular bridge or biological adhesive, holding the skin edges together while the body begins to generate new cells. However, Plantain's care extends beyond physical integrity. Its sap contains allantoin and specific polysaccharides, mucilages. While aucubin eliminates microbes and vitamin K halts bleeding, allantoin is responsible for regeneration. It stimulates cell division and soothes inflammation. This is precisely why plantain is so effective not only for cuts, but also for burns or insect bites. Its mucilages form a protective film that prevents tissue desiccation, while allantoin alleviates itching and swelling. An important nuance we often overlook. Plantain is a filter plant. Its ability to draw out toxins and tissue breakdown products is due to the osmotic pressure of its sap. When the leaf adheres closely to the skin, it acts as a sorbent, effectively drawing out microparticles of dirt and toxins from the injured area. In simple terms, a plantain leaf is like a sterile packet containing an antiseptic, a tourniquet, and a healing ointment, all encased in a robust, reinforced wrapping that's always at hand. Nature, however, has built a crucial condition into this mechanism. For the first aid kit to function, the leaf must be bruised or crushed. Only then does plantain's biochemical code transition from a waiting state to a rescue mode. We study this green bandage not as an ancient remedy, but as a sophisticated biotechnology. Plantain doesn't just heal, it demonstrates how aggressive defense and gentle care can coexist within a single leaf. We close this biochemical segment to discover in the next part how this portable pharmacy accompanied the great warriors of the past and why it was dubbed humanity's ultimate travel companion. Part 3. A Journey Through Centuries. humanity's constant companion. If you consult an etymological dictionary, you'll find that nearly all folk names for this plant are linked to roads. In Russia, it's podorozhnik, by the road, popuchik, travel companion, dorozhnik, road attendant. In Germany, Wegetritt, literally stepping on paths. This plant doesn't merely grow by roads, it helps create and maintain them. Within our archive, Plantain is documented as a key witness to the evolution of human logistics. Its history of service to humanity stretches back to deep antiquity. Alexander the Great's soldiers, undertaking their legendary treks across deserts and mountains, lacked modern hospitals. For them, Plantain was a pocket-sized infirmary. During campaigns, blisters, abrasions from heavy armor, and sword cuts were treated with this very leaf. Soldiers knew that by binding a plantain leaf to a wound with a clean strip of cloth, inflammation would subside overnight. This made Plantain the unofficial medic of antiquity's great conquests. But why does it cling so insistently to roadsides? The answer lies in its unique biological niche. Plantain is an ascetic. Most plants prefer loose, oxygen-rich soil, but there, Plantain faces too many competitors that quickly outgrow and shade it. Therefore, it adopted a strategy of beaten earth. It settles where the soil is compacted to the consistency of stone. Where other grasses suffocate, Plantain reigns supreme. Its roots can penetrate dense ground, and its seeds eagerly await a footfall to press them deeper into the earth, ensuring ideal germination contact. In ancient Rus, Plantain was called porezniak or rannoch. It was treated with almost sacred reverence. Travelers embarking on long journeys would often place a dried plantain leaf in their amulets or footwear. This served both practical and symbolic purposes. A plant that knew all the roads was expected to bring good fortune on the path. Ethnographers note that in Slavic culture, plantain was considered a peacemaking herb. It not only healed the flesh, but also soothed the road's wrath. Interestingly, plantain became one of the first commodities in international seed trade. In medieval Europe, it was harvested in tons, not for its beauty, but for apothecaries and paper mills. The mucilage of its seeds was used as an adhesive for paper. Thus, plantain became part of the global economy, subtly permeating books, archives, and letters that circulated worldwide. Plantain embodies modest yet indomitable strength. It doesn't strive for the summit. It is simply always there when you walk. It is a witness to the building of empires and the charting of trade routes. We conclude this historical chapter to realize in the finale, Plantain teaches us not only medicine, but also the philosophy of endurance. It shows that even if the wheel of fate runs over you, you can not only survive, but become even stronger. Part 4. The Philosophy of Resilience. Lessons beneath our feet. Plantain is more than just a plant. It is a living manifesto of resilience. While wormwood taught us to defend borders with surgical precision, plantain imparts a lesson in adaptability. In a world where everything strives to be taller, brighter, and more conspicuous, plantain chooses to be maximally grounded and flexible, and it is precisely this strategy that has rendered it virtually immortal. Its life cycle exemplifies how to transform pressure into a resource. Where other grasses break under the weight of circumstances, plantain merely presses itself closer to its soil, becoming impervious to blows from above. It is the biological embodiment of the phrase, "What doesn't kill us makes us stronger." However, as with any archive, there is a red zone here. Despite its immense utility, Plantain possesses one dangerous trait that every researcher must know. Because it grows along roadsides, it is a potent bioaccumulator. The broad leaves of plantain act like magnets for heavy metals. Lead, cadmium, and zinc present in vehicle exhaust fumes. Modern environmental tests reveal that plantain growing within 50 meters of a busy highway transforms from a remedy into a toxic object. It absorbs the poisons of the city, attempting to purify the very earth it grows upon. Therefore, the primary rule when working with this archive is that the purity of the source dictates the potency of its effect. Only plantain that has grown far from civilization retains its true healing properties. In summation, we see before us a unique mechanism. Plantain is a global navigator that utilized humanity to conquer the planet. A bioengineer who created uncrushable, reinforced leaves. A field hospital, always ready to provide first aid. We close the file. Subject Plantain. The next time you see this humble leaf by the roadside, don't rush to step on it thoughtlessly. Remember the traveling seeds, the footprint of the white man, and the incredible will to live hidden within every vein of this green titan. Nature creates nothing in excess. It merely waits for us to become attentive enough to read its codes. The archive for Subject Plantain is now closed.